It's Hot 97, Ebro in the morning, Laura Styles, Rosenberg, and we have the Complex family. Can I call you guys the Complex family?
Yeah,
You
sure.
may.
You may. And introduce yourselves to the people watching and listening.
I'm Christine Worthman.
Speak close to the mic.
Christine Worthman. I'm the deputy editor of Complex Music.
Very nice.
Justin Charity, I'm a staff writer, Complex Music.
And you want to introduce your compadres in the back.
We have.
I'm Damian Scott, executive editor.
Executive editor, and the young lady says, "Do not say my name. I'm not associated with these ne'er-do-wells." So you guys have put out a Complex. It was top 50 albums of 2015.
Yeah,
that's how this conversation started. Which, look, I don't think the list was all the way bad. I think that I have my own discrepancies. We can start with number 50. I think was the Drake and Future album.
Yeah.
And then number 49 was conveniently the Meek Mill album. And the reason I use the word convenient is because the Drake Meek Mill situation, and then you putting those at 49 and 50 seem a little troll worthy. It seems like you guys were doing that for attention. That's how I took it. And then when you go through the list, there's some other great albums in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you get to the top 5, and you guys have Ray Shremmer's album
Was
at
like
number 3.
3.
Go ahead, you can talk closer to the mic.
Yeah, it was 3, I think.
I'd love to hear this Ray Shremmer conversation, because I know from people inside Complex, because I wanted to know, because I hold Complex in very high regard. And I was like, what's happening up there when Ray Shremmer, I love the album, it's a good album, is ranked higher than a great album, a musical album like Alabama Shakes. And the reason I make that comparison is because your lists aren't just hip hop. Like, right. It's all formats of music. So I'd love to hear the Ray Shremmer conversation and why it was so high.
Yeah, I think Ray Shremmer, that was just an album that we all really liked, and it was something that you could listen to from start to finish. It didn't have like a wasted moment in it, and it was just the highs were consistently high, and it had a nice arc to it. When you have an album conversation, that's really what we're looking for. So, what do you
Yeah, it's like huge songs on that album. It's like No Flex Zone, No Type, Up Like Trunk, This Could Be Us.
This Could Be Us, yeah.
Like, most of those songs are like huge songs, and they're great, and you hear them when you're out, and you play them in your apartment.
Yeah.
Like, I love most of that album.
Yeah.
Okay, I love Ray Shremmer.
Number 3 though.
My ICM
top 50.
Yeah, we have the same agent. They're good guys. I really like them, but they don't say shit on the entire album. I mean, there's not an important word that is said on the album.
But is that a defining quality of a good album? Like, do you need something very,
Well, there's some. I mean, I'm not saying it has to be powerful in like. I don't want everything to be To Pimp a Butterfly.
Right.
Right. But I mean, how about a story? How about something really poignant or pointed, or something that just like, I just don't think lyrics are a part of their equation yet. They're just energy on good beats. What do you disagree? What lyrically are you wanna?
I disagree on both accounts. If you listen to the album, you listen to some songs, there are stories on there where they recount relationships that have gone poorly. They recount their rise from being homeless to now living in the hills, and both of them rap with a dexterity that a lot of rappers who are put in their lane just can't do. I think if you listen to even like their big singles, didn't have that. They didn't have the label as like a party rapper, and they didn't come out with those huge hits at first. I think people would take them more seriously. But if you actually listen to the music, and after you stop dancing and you stop, I guess, turning up to it or whatever, you listen to the lyrics, they're there.
So, but you think number 3 is appropriate out of 50 albums in 20? What year? 15.
2015.
Number
out of
3
albums. Out of 50 albums this year, that album to us and to the Complex readership, because it's not just our opinion.
It was votes.
It's the sensibilities of our brand as well, right? So you take that into account, and you see that this is an album that's extremely lean. There's very, very, very little fat.
I do like that. It's only 11 songs.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
And every song is a banger. Every song hits on a level that is extremely high, and there's no wasted momentum. There's no wasted gate. Everything on there is purposeful. The beats are amazing.
Right.
The rapping to me is extremely high level, and it's
Extremely high level.
extremely high level.
I don't believe you.
And on a debut album.
I mean what I said.
Like,
Yeah.
who does that? Like, come on.
Not them.
And it's their first. And it's their first album.
I'm waiting for them to do that. I think they'll grow into it.
My only discrepancy is just the placement. Like I can never compare the words high level and rap and Ray Shrimmer is not a thing, right? No. First hand account, they came up here, people said what you said to me, right? Let's get to these bars. They ran out of the room.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you why. Because they didn't write that shit. Any of it, right? Maybe some of it. Mike Will made it. You know that his name is Mike Will Made It. He made that album, right? They're crisscross. That's what they are. It was a fabricated thing that we all like. And look, they may be developing their skills. I like them. They're nice kids. They're good dudes. Not what I'm saying. Complex, a reputable outlet, right? I see that at number 3. I'm questioning what's going on in the hallways. The same way when at Hot 97 we do things, people go, yo, what's going on up there?
With good reason.
And with good reason,
and we could
because
explain
questionable things.
And we could explain to you behind the scenes what some of those things are. In this case,
I went on a whole tirade at the program director this morning because I don't feel like we play Kendrick enough. He's up for 11 Grammys. 11. Second to Michael Jackson.
Right.
And hip-hop radio in the country. In the country is not fucking with Kendrick like that. If that was a pop artist, Top 40 Radio would be all over it, making sure the world knew that they stood behind the artists that they support and represent their culture. Country, the same shit.
Of course.
Country music will make sure that you see artists that are meaningful to their culture. We fuck around with hip hop and fucking go, oh, this cute little shit is number 3.
Now,
we
hold
should be
on.
fucking embarrassed.
But what's number 1 though?
What's number 1?
The right
That's not what we're
thing.
talking about. We're talking about why is Ray Shrimmer at number 3. Don't try to twist the
well,
combo.
no. But I think there's a part that's being left out.
Yeah.
Nah, fuck that.
No,
Fuck
we're not
that.
saying you left that
It's
out.
embarrassing.
I think everyone knows that your overall sensibility is good. Here's the part that I think is being ignored.
Fucking embarrassing.
And I don't know if you guys will acknowledge it. There is, and I know it because I know people with your sensibilities so well. Not that mine's all that different. I have things that are similar to it as well. But there is an innate hipster sense of love for Ray Shrimmer that cannot be ignored. That is part of the equation. That is part of it.
Come on,
there is
you know
an
what it
irony.
is.
There is an irony.
You know what it is.
To
It's the
liking Ray
cute
Shrimmer.
little black kids from the hood that we want to uplift and we think it's cute. The same way the little hipster white people love the little drug dealer rap and they force feed all that pills and fucking scissor rap shit on the hipster blogs. We've been talking about this
What
shit
is
for
ironic?
years.
What's ironic about No Flex Zone? Like, what is ironic about the appeal of that song?
Say-
That song is huge. Lots of different types of people love that song.
Not
What
just
is
the first.
ironic about the
The,
appeal of No
the
Flex Zone?
irony is saying that beyond being just a really fun club song, there's anything deeper to it. It's a great.
Yeah, but the
like-
list isn't ranked
Kind of
the 50
the
deepest
deepest
rap
rap, yeah.
albums.
Yeah,
Like,
but
that's not the list.
but when we look at overall quality music, the thing that in history, when we look back on it, what makes something a great song versus a guilty pleasure is some of the content that goes within it.
I'm
sorry, you can-
from the equation though too.
Yeah.
Why what?
Microphone.
Why do you have to erase guilty pleasures from the equation too? Or why is there guilt behind liking something like that?
By the way, I don't really truly believe in the concept of guilty pleasure.
Right,
If
I
you
don't
like
either.
something, you like
So,
something.
yeah.
But when you're ranking something with something a brand as reputable as Complex, I understand Ebro's frustration in thinking that while the music is
All I have a
It's
discrepancy
cute.
with, by the way, let's be clear,
It's the placement.
is number 3.
yeah, all
Like,
of us
that's all
agree.
I'm
It's
saying,
all,
like-
I think all of us would agree it's a top 10 rap album of
And
the year.
because as hip hop, right, which Complex partakes in that culture as a
Sure.
brand, so I'm like, yo, man, come on, man, respect hip hop a little bit, like have some respect for the hard work. Like, look, man, I would even be more okay if Lupe's album was higher, right? Like, that's a respectable album. Like, I don't give a fuck what you think about Lupe. You listen to it musically, it's solid,
No,
right?
So
Yeah,
you're
because he
saying,
loves
are
the
you
Lupe
saying
album.
then that there's like a certain level of respectability that music has to meet in order to justify being in the top 10 of a best album?
I think it needs to check on several boxes, right? And I think that while you may like every song on the Ray Shrimmer album, right?
Sure.
Where you try to say it's just arcing and there's no cohesive story on that album. It's not a cohesive story.
Like
of an album
especially when
put
the
together.
#1 album on the list is one of the most brilliantly cohesive. So here's the thing: you guys are telling me that all these qualities that I'm injecting into it aren't necessarily the be all end all, but they were, because you made "To Pimp a Butterfly" #1, right? Or #2?
Number one.
Number one. So obviously those factors are relevant, because that is singularly one of the most artistic, deep, lyrical albums of all time. So if that's the standard and that's #1, how could Ray Shremmer be too bad?
But I think the point is that you can find value on both sides. So you can have an album like To Pimp a Butterfly, which is lyrical, which has an arc, which has, the narrative, which has the songs. And you can also have something like Ray Shremmer, which also has the songs, which has these high points, which is the entire album.
It just shouldn't be top 5.
I don't even
all
think
I'm
it's-
saying is top 5.
I don't
That's
even
all.
think it's both sides,
This started.
though.
This is not an indictment of the quality or people enjoying Ray Shremmer.
Right.
I don't want this to get off on that.
Sure.
It's number 3 on the top 50 albums of 2015. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. Right? And
What's 2, by the way?
Something.
Future.
2 is Future.
Yes, too.
Well, there's a big drop off from 1 to 2. Let's just keep it 100% honest. There's a monstrous, iconic drop off from 1 to 2. #1 is one of the greatest albums ever made in American music. You could make that argument over the next several years that you'll be like, this is in a conversation with things like Songs in the Key of Life, and we're having conversations like that. And the Future album's like, it's like a Future mixtape that was recorded and put out by a label. So in that sense, at least 3 makes more sense behind 2, but behind 1, it's just like, how do people feel about Drake's placement? What's the feedback
What a
on that?
time to be alive.
No. If you're reading this, it's too late.
I don't think they gave it its props at all.
Where do you have it if you're reading it too late?
Where do we have it on the list? I think it was
The
in the
20s.
20s.
20s. Yeah. Because a lot of people feel that was the best rap album of the year. Like, that was the argument for a lot of people. I'm not saying myself, but was Kendrick versus Drake.
Look, I even think like Beauty Behind the Madness should be higher. You guys have that at number 23.
But my thing with Beauty Behind the Madness, because
Go ahead, talk straight into the mic for me.
I know you like that album too.
Yeah, I'm very passionate about
I think
that
it was
album.
I think it was a great collection of songs.
You don't feel
Yeah.
like it was cohesive. Yo, how about this?
But I also didn't love all the songs on that album.
Yeah.
Tame Impala Currents at number 20. It's a phenomenal album. You guys are bugging out. You guys lost your fucking marbles.
No, but but I don't understand. The Beauty Behind the Madness is a fucking awesome album from beginning to end. How could you say that?
You
I
think
just-
Losers is a great song?
I love it, yes.
Oh, man. I'm
Wait,
sorry
yo,
to hear that.
yo,
Yes.
Losers is arguably one of the best songs on the
Losers
I'm
is
sorry
album.
to hear
awesome.
this. Oh, man.
Yes.
Yo,
Shout-
check this out. Okay, and this is a very interesting thing I'm about to say.
Sure.
Got it.
The way you experience music, right? Everyone does it different, right? Some people are driving when they experience music, right? Some people, they have time to listen to music when they work out, right?
Right.
That's their time. Some people, Laura Styles' time
I clean the house.
cleaning the house. That's her time to
Yeah,
listen to
I'm
music,
with you.
Blasting
Yeah.
the
right?
clean, yeah.
Yeah.
You guys, as your job, sit at your desk, computer, cubicle, and experience music most of the time,
Right.
correct?
Yes, correct.
So it's gonna hit you differently than it's gonna hit me because I'm in traffic, I'm driving. Like, I'm looking for things that I can drive to that give me different moods and experiences. I
Sure.
also listen to music when I work out, so that's gonna hit me a little different. I listen to music with my daughter, that's gonna hit me different, right?
Right.
I think a lot of times, and DJs up here at Hot 97, right? They experience music in clubs, so they're always their palette for sounds and looking for things,
And they're watching the reactions.
and they're looking for reactions, like
Which
what's
is why
gonna-
they like
Right.
shit so often, because they're used to seeing idiots decide
yeah,
what songs
go
are good.
That's
crazy.
far. That's
Sorry.
far.
Sorry.
That's far.
Drunk people.
You can't, yeah, but you can't call everybody in a club an idiot.
Yeah,
Rosenberg. That's unfair. Just 'cause
Get a
you don't
job.
go
Get a
out.
job and grow up. What are you going to a club for? If you're a real man, you don't have friends, right, Ebro?
No, just because you're stuck on the couch with your dog all the time. That's
Real men
shit.
don't
Get
have
outta here.
friends.
Real men watch wrestling with their dogs.
That's it. I don't
Okay.
need friends.
Fuck
All
outta
right?
here.
So I think that also kind of plays into that. Like, I play Losers because I like the energy because it's different from the
Right.
Weekend, right? It gives, and I love Labyrinth, right? The artist, which I'm sure will be on lists of yours to come,
Yep.
right? Because he's a very talented.
Big fan.
Say again, you don't like
No,
Labyrinth.
he really likes him.
Right.
Yeah.
He'll be on, and he's working with artists that and songwriters that we'll all be talking about Labyrinth in a minute. But that song's amazing. But let's move on from the album talk.
We
Because
should
you
go to-
guys,
yeah, we should go to the
you guys-
songs.
You guys
The
like
songs,
Ray
yeah.
Shremmer.
Okay.
So now Complex has released their top 50 songs
Yep.
of 2015. At number 1 is Hotline Bling. Number 2 is Kendrick, All Right. Number 3, March Madness. 4, Skrillex, Diplo. Justin Bieber, Where Are You Now? The Weeknd, The Hills. 6, Ray Shrimmer. You guys couldn't let the top 10
Couldn't let go.
Couldn't let go.
Couldn't let go.
Keep him
And
in
barely
there.
even a single.
Keep him in there.
7, Drake back to back. 8, Major Lazer and Snake Mo with the Lean On record. 9, Future, I Serve the Bass. I Serve the Bass?
I serve the bass.
Why? Yeah, I didn't know why that. That's my favorite song on Dirty Sprite 2, by the way.
Yeah, so wait, so why is there a question then?
Because I don't think it deserves to be top 10. It's not the biggest song on Dirty Sprite 2. It's not even the second biggest song on Dirty Sprite 2. It's not even the third biggest song on Dirty Sprite 2.
Do you want to have a really fantastic laugh?
And then number 10 was Alessia Cara Here, which is also
That's
a big
fitting.
record.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm only going to do the top 10, but then we can bounce around through the rest and you can ask questions.
Well, I just wanted to have a laugh at the idea, personally, that next to each other, you could have Post Malone, White Iverson, and Justin Bieber, Sorry. Sorry is like a nearly perfect record. Like, you cannot make a better pop record. And White Iverson's a good song. I just find it, like, I'm shocked that Sorry's not higher.
And I'm shocked that Fetty Wap Trap Queen isn't on here.
It's
Well, it came out
last
in
year. It came out last year.
2014.
And it's Repug.
I still
Nah,
hate
come on.
it.
Come on. Trap
My
Queen's
least
an amazing
favorite. It's
song.
my least favorite. My least favorite.
Well,
It's the only
You can't deny
cringeworthy
it, though.
Fetty
You
Wap
can't
song to
deny it.
me.
You can't deny that record. That's
I deny it.
huge record.
I'm denying it.
You can't.
Denying its
Denial.
innocence.
I'm a Trap Queen denier. You know they're Holocaust deniers?
Never
Trap
happened.
Queen never
Never
happened.
happened.
But lots of people said that when that came out. When Trap Queen first started bubbling, I was looking at this the other day. I went back and a lot of people called Trap Queen boring. Like, a lot of I think that song took a long time to go on.
The reason Trap Queen isn't my thing, it was proven the other day when he when he performed at our concert. It's once it gets through the chorus, you're just
Where do you go?
you're waiting for the chorus to come back. There's like the song doesn't go anywhere.
So while we're on Fetty Wap, why only one Fetty Wap song on this entire top 50? I mean,
Where's Fetty?
he had several big records.
Where's the
Why only one?
Oh, there he is again.
Yeah.
He's
No,
number
I
18.
would have done RGF Island, I think. I don't know.
And
6, 7,
let me
9,
say,
yeah.
and so
See, this is the
because this
conversation
is
we had.
because this is Complex's list.
Right.
You guys have your own set of filters and how you look at things.
Mm-hmm.
What was the filtering process here? Was it just like, look, we got one Fetty Wap, we covered up on our Fetty Wap, we got our token.
I think the harder thing this year was just that there was a lot of good music. Like, I think there was a lot of good rap
Yeah.
music. There was a
There's
lot
a
of good
lot.
music in general.
There's
So
a lot.
even someone like Fetty, right, who has like 6 songs burning at the same time, or Future, admittedly, like, could have had a dozen
Yes.
songs in
Right.
contention, and we would have fought over them
Yes.
into next year.
You don't-
The problem is just that there's
have
just too
zero.
much good music
Yeah.
in 2015.
You also
What'd
don't
you say, Dylan?
necessarily want a list that is completely non-diverse and where it's just like, you know, if we have
So
a
the other
list
Fetty
of-
Waps got chopped because you wanted more diversity.
No, the other Fetty
No,
Waps got chopped because there were better songs
Yeah, because there
than
were
the
better
rest of them.
songs. And that was the one we all voted
So
on.
you're telling me that let's see here, Ty Dolla $ign, Big TC, and D-Loc, Miracle Wherever is bigger at number 36, is bigger than other Fetty Wap songs. You're telling me
It's better.
Snake
It's better.
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 Better, not
Okay,
bigger.
fair enough.
That's reasonable.
Snake Hips, which I love that record, Tinashe and Chance the Rapper, at number 35. I think you guys are a little early. Is this of 2015 or the last 15 days?
The last 2 weeks.
2015.
It's the top 50 of the last 2 weeks. I agree.
Jeremiah Wee is already at number 24 on your list?
Great song.
Yeah, it's a great song.
How long has it been out? 2 months? 2 weeks?
Yeah.
2 days?
2 months.
2 hours?
But we're
2 minutes and it would still be there.
right. We're radio, and I mean, Jeremiah's an interesting one.
Why?
Why?
He's very
Yeah,
talented.
Yeah, why?
Very talented.
But then you have Blessings at number 22. That was like Big Sean's biggest record of the year.
Yeah, and it's at 22 on the
Yeah.
best songs of 2015 on Complex.
That's not
But
bad,
it's
right?
behind Adele, All I Ask at number 14, and that's not
Yeah.
even a single. That's not even like a record. That's just a record that you guys love and you just threw it at
Yeah.
14.
Yeah.
It's a song that
Where's Travis
will
Scott?
be a single soon.
Antidote's on
It's
there.
a fiend
Antidote
ballad.
could have been much higher.
Yeah, 19?
Yeah, I thought Antidote was one of the best records of the year. I mean, I guess you're right. 19 is the best records of the year, but
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing with songs. It's like it's not as fun for me to argue because it's like it feels even more subjective. Like, what's the
Right.
difference? How can you rate really the level in song? Like album, you're looking at more. There's a bigger thing to look at. With songs, it's a more difficult.
Well, you guys just put together a playlist. You guys just were like, what are our favorite songs? Just put on a playlist. This is what you guys are going to play
It
at your
wasn't that
Christmas
simple
party.
because we argued
This
about
is the
this
Christmas
stuff.
stuff.
We
party.
argued about it at the
for
Christmas
several
party.
days.
This is going to play at the Christmas
Definitely,
party for sure,
yeah.
because this looks like just somebody's, iTunes.
Yo, we play
was
All
like-
I Ask at the Christmas party.
And that's it, just on loop. Actually, it's gonna be great.
It's funny though that Ebro, you point out something interesting though about the way that they listen to music being so different. Like, if you're in an office with 100 hipsters versus sitting by yourself, or
Hypothetically, I guess.
hypothetically.
So that's what all the hipsters do when they go home. We sit by ourselves. We just
Yeah, we
rock.
sit by ourselves. We don't know
You
anyone.
know?
We don't have family.
but there's conversations
Never.
to be had. Like there's a lot of
Sure.
like, yo, there's participating
Right,
together.
right.
Oh,
Much
yeah.
like the club adds to that situation.
Yeah.
Is a totally different. Everyone's experience is just totally different, which is why like the Race Remnant album to go like for example is so different. Like you said the words out loud. Every song on that album is huge. Like Up Like Trump. We could go on the street and survey 1,000 people, and I will show you 1,000 people.
I'm gonna tell you
have
how
no idea
not
song
big
exists.
that song is. With all the Trump shit happening right now,
Ain't
not a
that-
single media outlet has chosen that song to tie into anything Trump.
No, they
That's
brought up
how-
Mac Miller. They brought up Mac
Spin.
Miller,
They
Donald
brought
Trump.
up Mac Miller's song from 2 years ago. They didn't bring that shit up.
Write that
You
down.
know why?
We'll do that
Because it's
later.
not big.
That's another thing. Also, we have different standards for big, is all because we're like
Yeah.
internet big and radio big are such
They're very
different
different.
animals.
It's very different.
You know, we're
Yeah.
late, and we only see the biggest. By the time it gets to us, for better or for worse, often
Right.
for worse. But in this conversation, it just changes.
And
opinion.
so, and in this top 50 list, there's not one song
here we go.
from "What a Time to Be Alive," Drake and Future. Am I right? Not one song.
I'm
And-
okay with that, by the way.
And there's not
Me
one.
too.
Is there a complaint embedded in
Yeah.
the
Or is that just a
the curl
statement?
of your voice?
Is it because you think every song was lazy as fuck, and it's just a bunch of random songs that could have been left on the cutting room floor?
You said that. I don't know.
That's
I
not true.
don't know about
Big
I don't
Rings
know
was a
about
great
that.
record. Big Rings, Jumpman. Just because you didn't even give it, you
Nah,
didn't even give it a
wait,
chance.
time
You
out.
didn't
There's
even
something else
listen to
happening
it.
here. There's something
You
else
didn't even
happening.
listen to it.
Yeah.
There's something else happening here.
What do you think is happening?
Rihanna, "Bitch Better Have My Money" came out in 2015.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not on here.
But that, I gotta be honest, I thought Bitch Better Have My Money was super underwhelming too. I played it because it was Rihanna, but like, I thought it was super
No, and
underwhelming.
that's kind of how we all.
When,
react
and
to it
Ebro,
as well.
Ebro, by the way, I remember you when it first came out too. You weren't like, we gotta hit this hard.
No, I just know it was popular.
It was popular, but that's not what the list is.
No, I know. This
not
list
a-
is not based on anyone else other than them
Right.
and their cubicles. I understand.
And I don't think Bitch Better Have My Money.
But I did want to point out that both Drake and Rihanna were on the cover of the Fader, though. 100 issue.
Conspiracy.
But Ebro, Drake's number one.
Yeah, but they couldn't avoid that one, though.
Hotline Bling.
They can't avoid that. They can't make a. You can't make a list and not
I
put
avoid
Hotline.
it. I avoid it every day.
Yeah, but
So easily.
Tell us your
You don't
secrets.
like it,
you
that's
do
why.
comedy. They do credibility. It's different.
okay,
It's
okay.
different. Or it's just different. But yeah, so no Rihanna, no Drake, no.
No,
Right.
what a time to be alive. That bothers me.
Which one do you think's so great on there, Laura?
I love
I like
Big
several
Rings.
songs.
I love Jumpman. They have great records.
Now, when
on
you
there.
grew up listening to The Far Side and Souls of Mischief,
Doesn't matter.
hold
It
on,
doesn't matter.
and cats who were saying something, you thought you'd one day say that a good song has the words Nobu, 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 or I got really big rings, we got really big
It's like
things.
Dr. Seuss rap.
It's literally Dr. Seuss.
Yeah,
you
but
just
you
arguing
guys
about
like
Ray
Shremmer.
No, Ray Sherman is way more.
So,
different.
like,
Yeah, that's so much fun.
Fuck out
out of here.
I'm just yelling,
That's the chorus. That's the chorus. Listen, I know, but the rest of
Jumpman.
All right, check this out. Check this out. Real talk. Real talk. Ray Shremmer. If you gave me,
Laughing the Gun is the best song off that tape, by
No,
the way.
literally.
I just disagree
if you
about Big
gave
Bang.
me,
I love that
if you
record too.
gave me half a bar between each line I said in a song, I ain't got no type.
Yo, remember what the other
Bad bitches, that's the only. Yo, I could do that all night long.
But isn't that a type?
Live. I could do it live. And if that's bars now, if that's what we're saying is hot. And by
But
the
it's
way,
just weird.
also
by
a
the way,
chorus.
Yeah.
by the way, I like the song. I like the song. I'm just punching holes in your argument.
But
that's
it's
all.
not. But it's weird that you're putting that up against Nobu, 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 Nobu. That's what I don't
And Nobu's
understand.
a great fucking restaurant. And he may own stock in it. And all you motherfuckers had your meeting at Nobu. I know
No,
you
and
rich
it's
bastards.
actually-
Y'all
We did
go down
actually.
there.
It's him having an argument. It's him having an argument with his boo about going to Nobu. So he's like, Nobu. Nobu. So there's layers to it.
I didn't get it. Pharoah Mosh got a writing credit on.
Yeah. Pharaoh actually wrote that.
But I think the real reason why there's no songs from that album or mixtape or whatever they call it is that they separately made better songs this year than anything on that project.
I agree with that. I think they did both make better songs than they made together.
Yeah.
No. Right? We all agree. Ebro, you don't think the Drake album isn't better? You think
No, I'm not sure. I'm not even arguing that. I'm not arguing that. I'm just looking through the list of things that are here. And let's see. Big Rings, we all say we like.
Yes.
I like Diamonds Dance. I like Live from the Gutter. I like Jumpman. So I guess, yeah, you're right. I'm the plug I really like too. I'm the plug.
And a great
baby. I'm the
beat.
plug.
And, yeah.
Vince Staples awful low on that album list, by the way.
Summertime 06 is a great album.
First disc, definitely higher.
Yeah.
Second disc.
So you think he put too much material
Yeah, I
out?
think
And
yeah,
we've been having
I
this
do.
conversation too, and I think it's a very interesting conversation with these double albums, or
Right.
like you listen to the Games album, which it was like 30, was it 2 point? It was like 45 songs, and
True.
you go through it and you're like, wait, if we would have just did these 15.
Yeah.
Right, like, and which is one thing I appreciate about a couple of tapes that just recently came out. Is like 8 songs, 7 songs, 9 songs, 11
Right,
songs. Like,
right.
like let's keep
Which,
it
like,
focused.
we've seen Vince do that kind of stuff with, like, Hell Can Wait. Like, that was, everything on there was fantastic.
Right.
And we know that this guy is eventually going to release a classic album. He just is. He's great. This wasn't it.
So let me ask you guys a question. When you guys do your hiring at Complex, right? When you bring
Sure.
people in to work for the brand,
We give him a quiz.
and how do you but how do you quiz them? Is it like, do you guys agree with our music taste? You can work here, or do you?
No.
Because, like, for instance, when you in many media, or let's just say radio, or being a DJ or whatever, you have to have certain work experience,
Sure.
right? Where you've actually selected songs, put songs together, and you have to earn, and even once you're in the building, you got to earn your credibility to have an opinion, right, about songs that should be played, and what filtering process you're using for those, right? Like, we have DJs here. You only DJ 4 or 5 clubs in one section of New Jersey.
Right.
Your opinion on music isn't going to be as
It's very narrow.
weighted
Right.
as someone who's been mixing for 15 years and mixes in all the boroughs and has because specific boroughs like different styles of music and
Right.
different regions, et cetera, et cetera. So how do you guys do it?
And, well, I think that what you just described, trying to find sort of like a diverse group of people to talk about music and, like, get a better sense of what actually is big, not just based on, like, one tiny section of the population. I
Right.
think that's what we look for.
Got it.
So then when we have these conversations, when we're in the room, because we had about, how many meetings did we have for best songs? 3?
3. It was 3.
Yeah, and they usually each last probably a
Too
couple
long.
hours.
No, yeah.
Yeah. So that's exactly what this is. It's just like a bunch of people who do have very differing opinions in music
Right.
getting together and trying to figure out, okay, what's our common ground? What do we all kind of like unite over? What are the obvious ones? What are sort of like the passion projects too, that people want to push? So it's all part of it.
And I want to add, while we're having this argument, that I do, and I know, I'm guessing everyone here feels the same way. As much as I could argue and be like, oh, fucking hipster opinions, I mean, I love that those opinions and your guys' opinions exist. Like, people who actually really care and are putting more thought into it than simply seeing people wasted at a strip club. I think it's a very necessary voice to have. Let's just talk shit about Pitchfork and Stereo Gum. What fucking pricks, Just a bunch of douchebags. I'm just joking.
I would suggest, and I don't know, this may go against some corporate responsibility and HR issues, but
Great.
when you guys make your albums and songs list, maybe there's a strip club meeting.
Oh, we could diversify the location.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There you go.
Maybe there's a let's get in a
That's not
15
bad.
passenger van and smoke out to some weed meeting.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe there's like a shots of whiskey and tequila meeting where you know what I mean,
standard
where you
meeting.
change. Maybe there's like but at least they're fun
Right.
meetings
Yeah.
at
Fun
this
meetings,
point,
right,
right?
right,
There's the
right.
like work. Let's go all have a workout together and play some music meeting, and that way you kind of can
Yeah.
diversify. Because sitting at the cubicle with the little speakers or the little headphones on
Doesn't do it.
It's not gonna do it. Maybe you're having a bad day. Maybe the lighting's bad. It's fucking up your mood. Maybe you
Yeah.
guys just didn't get raises and bonuses, and so you're listening to some sad ass angry shit. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta.
Tell Dr. Adele.
You know what I mean? I know what that office life is like. You gotta get outside and make your judgments sometimes out with the people.
What do you guys imagine will win Song and Record of the Year at the Grammys?
That's hard to call.
I don't know.
I'm pulling for one category has All Right, I'm thinking will win.
Song of the Year has All Right.
Okay, and then Record of the Year, isn't Uptown Funk in that category?
They're in both. I think Uptown Funk's in
Are
both.
they in both?
Okay.
No, maybe just record,
No, I think
not
it's just
song.
record.
I think it's in Record of
Yeah.
the Year.
It's in
I
record.
could see that winning for record.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
up for record. I don't think All Right, unfortunately, has a chance in
I
Song
know,
of the
I
Year.
wish.
Yeah, I got to be honest. And I'm literally, my Kendrick stanness, I think, is pretty
You
well
don't like that song?
Love the song.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't hold up in that category, though. As great as the song is individually, next to the Ed Sheeran song, it's just that's a very
It's tough.
tough
The
category.
Wiz Khalifa song,
The
which
Wiz
had
song.
the movie and
Yeah,
the whole
I mean,
moment with it and what it meant.
I mean, listen, we're not gonna. If we're comparing bars on All Right and See You Again, it's a different operation.
Different
But
story.
in
Yeah.
terms of the impact and the meaning and how
Yeah.
much people love that song, I mean, God, it made people think that a Fast and Furious movie was good. That's how powerful the song was.
Do you think that there's a song off To Pimp a Butterfly that would have better suited the category other than I, obviously, because that was a single last time around? Or last year.
Wait, Eyes in what category?
I
No,
won
I'm saying,
last
other
year.
than All Right, do you think that there's a different song off of To Pimp a Butterfly that would hold up better in
that
Song of the
category?
Year category?
Yeah.
I think. I mean, two things. One, I think these walls. I think these walls could.
Nah.
Why not?
It's no, yeah. It's,
I just don't think All Right moves as much as these walls.
I don't know. I just feel like when the Grammys make their votes, they factor in impact and what that visual for. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's
Like,
a different story. Yeah, yeah.
You know what
I
I mean? They
understand
factor
why.
in what it's saying in the song. They
Right.
factor, the words in that. You listen to All Right,
Yeah.
like
What about President
It's
Obama's
very
choice?
powerful.
President Obama's choice is pretty good too.
yeah, How Much a Dollar Costs.
Yeah.
Which,
How Much Dollar
yeah.
Cost is a better song than All Right.
It's
I
my
like
favorite
All
song
Right.
off the album. It's
That
my
one?
personal favorite song off the
Well, you're very much like President Obama.
album. Yeah,
you look like him too.
I don't know about all that.
A little bit.
Are you biracial?
No, I'm black.
Same thing. Somebody white in your family.
I'm from
Somewhere.
like Virginia. So,
Yeah, somewhere.
it's
Some
weird
slave
down there.
master.
Yeah, it's
You know what I
some
mean?
shit.
Thomas Jefferson, them slave.
Well, I
he
mean,
was getting it on.
doesn't almost everybody have some white in their family?
I'll show you some black people around the white in their family. Let me tell you something.
Shawty!
Hey, it was great talking to you guys, man. Complex.com, top 50 songs. When is this list just came out today, yes?
Yesterday. Yesterday morning. Yep.
Pleasure meeting you guys. Pleasure talking to you guys.
Likewise. Thanks
Yep.
for having us.